The first day at Ridgewood High was supposed to be quiet, uneventful, almost invisible for Lina Hale, the new girl who walked with soft steps but carried eyes that had clearly seen more than anyone her age should. She kept her sleeves long even though the weather begged for short ones, her backpack tight against her shoulder, and her gaze low enough to avoid unnecessary attention. But in every school, attention has a way of finding people who want it least. And this school was no different. As she walked through the hallway, whispers slipped like smoke behind her. "Who's the new girl? She looks weirdly serious. Probably another transfer who won't last a week." But one voice rose above the others, sharp, arrogant, and soaked in the confidence of someone who was used to being feared. Troy Bennett, the self-proclaimed king of the school hallways. He strolled toward Lina with a swagger that suggested the hallway belonged to him. His group followed like shadows with smirks carved onto their faces. Troy blocked her path with a lazy tilt of his head, pretending to examine her like she was merchandise rather than a person. Well, look what we got here," Troy said, placing a hand on the locker beside her, intentionally closing the space around her. "New girl thinks she can walk around like she owns the place." Lina didn't look up. She simply shifted sideways, trying to move past him. That, of course, bruised his ego. He stepped in front of her again and slapped her books out of her hands. Papers scattered like frightened birds across the floor as the hallway erupted in laughter. Lina remained still. "Calm." Almost too calm, Troy grinned. "Say something, new girl." Lina slowly crouched to pick up her papers. Her fingers moved with a strange precision, controlled, disciplined, something no one noticed except one girl standing behind the crowd. May, Troy's cousin, who had been raised in a military family, felt something unsettling in the way Lina moved. It wasn't fear. It was restraint. Troy reached out and grabbed Lina's sleeve to drag her up, but when he yanked the fabric, her sleeve slid back and the hallway froze because there, inked along her forearm, was a combat tattoo, sharp, symmetrical lines forming a symbol used only by elite self-defense trainees, the kind who mastered real combat. It wasn't decorative. It wasn't for show. It was earned. Troy blinked. What is that?" Lina finally looked up. Her eyes were steady, cold, and trained, not with anger, but with calculation. "That," she said quietly, "is a warning." The hallway went dead silent. Even Troy's friends took a small step back, their laughter dying in their throats. Troy scoffed louder than his confidence could support. "A tattoo doesn't scare me." "What, you think you can fight?" Lina didn't answer, but the look in her eyes did. May tugged Troy's arm. "Leave her alone." "Seriously? You don't know what that symbol means," but Troy shrugged her off. His pride had already been wounded. And a bully with wounded pride is a dangerous, stupid thing. "We're not done, new girl," he growled. "After school. Hallway. Just you and me." Lina didn't flinch. "Don't do this," she warned. Troy smirked. "See you then." And with that, he walked away, leaving the hallway buzzing with rumors, fear, and the lingering image of a tattoo that promised a storm no one was ready for. To be continued. The final bell rang like a countdown, 5 tones echoing through the hallways as students sprinted to the after-school showdown spot. The hallway outside the gym filled with a restless crowd, their voices vibrating with excitement, curiosity, and fear. No teacher in sight. No cameras. No adults. Just the perfect stage for Troy Bennett's ego. Troy stood in the center with his chest puffed out, cracking his knuckles like a villain in a cheap movie. His friends hyped him up, throwing empty threats and laughter into the air. The crowd parted when Lina arrived, calm as the wind before a storm. She wasn't nervous, she wasn't shaking, she wasn't even breathing heavily. Her silence alone made several students step back. Troy smirked. "Here she is. Come to get your little tattoo tested?" Lina looked at him as if she were analyzing a problem she already knew the solution to. "I warned you," she said softly. "You should have listened." Troy lunged first, sloppy, aggressive, wild, and Lina moved like water. She sidestepped effortlessly and Troy crashed into a locker with a loud metallic bang. The crowd gasped. He turned again, furious, swinging harder this time. Lina caught his arm mid-air. The hallway froze. In a swift, fluid motion, she twisted, unbalanced him, and guided him safely, yet humiliatingly, to the floor. Her movements were precise. Controlled. Professional. She never hit him. Never harmed him. She only neutralized him, and that terrified everyone more than a punch ever could. Troy's face turned red with anger and embarrassment. He scrambled up and charged again, but this time he didn't even reach her. With one graceful motion, Lina stepped aside, swept his leg just enough to make him fall again, this time landing flat on his back. A quiet ripple of awe spread through the crowd. May stepped forward, eyes wide. "Troy, stop. You can't win this." But Troy pushed himself up again, groaning, panting, refusing to surrender. "Why won't you fight back?" he shouted. Lina stood still, expression calm. "Because you're not my enemy," she said. "You're just loud." The crowd erupted in whispers. Troy froze. His fists dropped. His breathing slowed. For the first time, he wasn't angry. He was confused. What are you? He asked. Lina finally rolled up her sleeve fully, and the tattoo gleamed under the hallway light. My father trained soldiers. I trained with them. Combat is not for ego, or power, or bullying. It's for protection. The hallway was silent, and right now, she continued, you don't need a fight. You need someone to tell you to stop hurting people because you're hurting inside. Troy's friends exchanged uneasy glances. May swallowed hard. And Troy, whose entire identity revolved around being the toughest person in school, suddenly felt small. Lina didn't smirk, she didn't lecture, she didn't brag, she simply held out a respectful hand. Troy stared at it. Slowly, almost unsure, he took it. She helped him stand. The crowd murmured in disbelief. Lina nodded once. Learn to fight the right battles. And as she walked away, the hallway felt different, like someone had lifted a darkness no one realized was hanging in the air.